is the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington.
Ann Howard is new to the staff at Doctor's Hospital, but she is not new to Peyton Place. It's been 17 years since she was last in town, and most people have forgotten her. But others have reason to remember her well.
She came to see him at the office. Betty met her there, too. Apparently she's become quite a lovely young woman.
I'm not interested in what she looks like. What is she doing in Peyton Place?
I don't know, Martin. I understand she's working at the hospital.
Nurse?
No, she's a physical therapist.
Of course. Helping people. Putting people back together. It's only fitting.
Why did she come back?
Perhaps someone told her it's never too late.
Martin. What if her father is here, too?
Take hold of yourself, Hannah. If our father's here, we'll know soon enough.
Sorry. It's just that he could be using her against us.
But she's a grown-up woman now, Hannah. Maybe he simply lost control of her.
Then why did she go to Stephen?
Stephen's an attorney. Alphabetically, his name was the first in the telephone directory. Anyone new in town seeking help on a legal matter
Exactly. A legal matter. Well, I'm going to find out from Stephen.
No, Hannah. The last thing we want to do is to put Stephen on edge. There's nothing to do but wait. I don't know how you handled this, Hannah, but I spent the first few years disciplining myself to blot out the whole sordid episode. If I never really forgot, at least I didn't hear that name always ringing in my ears. Her name. His name. She may have changed that name, Hannah, but she's still the same girl.
She was 11, the same age I was. She was a stranger to all of us. First, we made her it. Then the game got wild because she was scared. When Chris Webber fell, we said she pushed him. Ann Colby then, Ann Howard now.
Why are you telling me about this?
Because you're my wife. Because I never had anyone I could tell before.
Go on.
This isn't a legal problem. It's, I don't know, it's a human problem. A puzzle.
You know what bothers me about it?
What?
You.
Me?
Ever since that girl came to your office, you've been thinking about her story.
Jealous?
Now, you be serious. It seems to me that if you figure out why you're so intrigued with her story, you'll get somewhere.
It's strange. I didn't see her push him.
But you said you did.
Everyone was shouting. She did it. She did it. And I shouted too.
But why should you feel guilty all this time? Children forget their lives if they get away with them.
Oh, I guess I was too conditioned by them to question it. It seemed appropriate at the time.
And now?
No. Yes, I'm wondering now.
all the fabulous places in Peyton Place to choose from for dinner. You have the Inn, where we had a drink together the other night. And you have the Charlie's Cider Barrel, which you already know about from breakfast. And you have, well, Fred, that's it.
Well, you're asking me to make a rather large and important decision.
Yes? Well, Mrs. Harrington.
Oh, hello, Dr. Rossi.
Well, Mrs. Harrington, alias Rita, this is Miss Howard, alias Ann.
Hi.
I know you two are already acquainted because one of my favorite lady informers has passed on some information about you. Vital information that she picked up at the drugstore soda fountain. Namely, that you take your coffee with cream and...
No sugar.
I'll have to watch myself from now on.
No.
Do you have any other lady informers?
Well, this is a very small town.
It's called Project Dr. Rossi. Strangers are subject to close scrutiny. He's very particular. Everybody's joined the search to find a girl for him.
Oh, well, wait a minute, Mrs. Harrington.
I'm very flattered that you consider me a likely candidate for Project Dr. Rossi.
I guess I better go before I put my other foot in my mouth. It's nice meeting you, Miss Howard.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.
The tavern?
Oh, she was born and raised in there. Well, there was a time I was worried about Rita ever getting off the wharf, but about a year ago, the most remarkable thing happened. She met a boy.
Once upon a time?
Yeah, his name is Harrington, and... well, he thought it was time that the local aristocracy had a little fresh blood, so...
So he met Cinderella at a high school dance, and he pulled the glass slipper from his pocket.
Wait a minute. You're getting way ahead of me. No, this isn't the, Hans Christian Andersen version. This is the Grimm version. No, Norman Harrington had been cutting classes a lot. He was playing the rebel. And Rita, well, she was already a high school dropout. She kind of learned everything the hard way.
Doesn't seem to have affected her much.
No, she's great for Norman.
And will they live happily ever after? In the Grimm version. Princes I know will seem to tire of their Cinderellas eventually. Glass slippers are terribly fragile.
Well, maybe you've been meeting the wrong princess.
You going to tell me, or am I going to have to guess? Norman been giving you a hard time?
Of course not. Mom? I'm pregnant.
Oh, honey. Honey, are you sure? I mean, well, have you been to see the doctor yet?
But I fainted yesterday at work, and I feel horrible.
Well, you got to start taking care of yourself. You can't run around, you know, the way you do. Look at you, good puff of wind to blow you away.
Stop it, Mom. We can't have a baby. We can't afford to have a baby.
Don't say that. You can always afford to have a baby.
Not Norm and me. He's going back to college no matter what. Take him long enough to convince him. He has a thing about taking care of me, being a real husband. If I have to quit my job, he'll quit school. Oh, don't you see, Mom? We couldn't make a go of it. We just couldn't.
You're not thinking straight, honey. First of all, there's me. And then, well, then there's his father. Well, I don't know about Leslie Harrington, but I kind of fancy myself as a grandmother. And the bar's doing real well now.
No, Mom.
Now, wait a minute. Listen to me. Norman can go to college. He should. And I'll take care of you for the next couple of years.
It won't work. You just don't know Norman.
I know that I got nothing and nobody to spend my money on except my baby. I won't even tell you how to spend it. I'll stick it in a bank account, and you kids use it however you want.
Well, that's sweet of you, Mom, but...
Look, I was a rotten mother, honey. But I learned. And I'll make the greatest grandmother a kid ever had. I want a grandchild, honey. Let me help you. Please.
I can't.
Why not?
Norm won't take any money from you.
He doesn't have to know. Tell him a rich uncle died.
I can't lie to him.
Does Norman know you're pregnant?
No.
Well, that's lying, isn't it?
I don't want to lie. I want to have Norm's baby. Someday. But not now. I took a big chance marrying Norm. I thought if I could make him go to college, if I could just stay out of his way, that I'd make him happy. I never thought this would happen.
Well, it has, honey. It has.
If we have this baby, it'll be too much for him. He won't take help from his father or you. He'll want to prove he can do it alone. Me, college, and the baby. And it won't work. It'll be the end of us. Our marriage. Me?
Don't even know yet for sure. Go see Dr. Rossi. Tomorrow.
Okay, Mom.
Sure.
I pick 'em myself. This is a bribe. Let it be true, lady, that you are teaching Mrs. Harrington how to cook something besides hash. There's a rumor around town that you can cook so well, all the gourmets of Europe stop by this modest little tavern for a little morsel from your stove. Lady, why have you kept these secrets from your charming little daughter? I'm starved.
Supper'll be ready in a minute.
Why'd you leave so early?
I thought I'd learn how to cook an artichoke.
Well, did you?
Of course not.
Why not?
We're having hash for dinner.
All right. Get out, out, out.